Just like Superman it.
That's crazy, right?
What are your superpowers?
Superpowers, dude? I don't even know how to pee in this thing.
You okay? Why are you talking? You have bullet immunity!
I'm bulletproof.
You're dead.
Sorry about your window,
Have a good
but
night.
you're welcome for not getting robbed. Oh, hey, what's up? I'm a superhero.
Hey everybody, it's Charlie. So we got some new Shazam to break down, and Zachary Levi has been talking more about crossing Shazam as a character over with the next version of the Justice League. So we have actually a pretty good idea of what that new version of Justice League is going to look like based on all the recent announcements. So we'll break it down. There's a new round of the IMAX ticket giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave a comment on the video. I'll name a new winner at the end of this. And, really good news, people asking when are we going to get even more new footage. We actually found out about that too. So obviously the focus of this latest footage is just Superman shoutouts. Like they literally talk about Batman, Superman, and the Justice League constantly during the Shazam movie. Freddie Freeman is the superhero fanboy of that family, so he has all those collectibles that he's picked up. He has the Batarang from Batman v Superman. He has the bullets that bounced off of Superman during that movie when Batman was trying to take him down in this scene here. So even though Ben Affleck has announced that he's leaving, his Batman is still a very big presence during this Shazam movie. Now, it'll be really different when we see the next version of Batman in the next Justice League movie. I think when we get to stuff like that is where they'll play it a little fast and loose with the continuity, because some of the characters from the DC universe obviously will be sticking around, like Jason Momoa and Gal Gadot, just because their franchises are doing really, really well. Jason Momoa, surprisingly, now has the highest grossing DC movie of all time. He actually made more money than The Dark Knight. That is crazy. So of course, they're going to be making a ton more Aquaman movies. There was even a reported Henry Cavill cameo that they had planned for Shazam, but just the scheduling didn't work out, and Henry Cavill was still negotiating with Warner Brothers to extend his Superman contract. Then last year, you may have heard the press reporting that the studio was saying that they weren't gonna do another Superman movie anytime soon. They were gonna do a Supergirl movie and focus on her. The reason why you shouldn't get triggered with news like that is because what the studio is doing is they're just using the press to negotiate with Henry Cavill. So even though his camp came out and said a whole bunch of stuff, don't pay too much attention to all that kind of drama. There was something that Jeff Johns said a little while ago that was really candid before he left the official Warner Brothers post to start producing the Green Lantern Corps movie. An interviewer was asking him, what's the deal with the next Man of Steel movie? We want our next Superman movie. And this was happening when they were starting to reshuffle all their movies and change all their plans, and people were getting fired. So he was actually being really candid about this when he said, the studio understands the importance of Superman. They have not forgotten. So you read between the lines, and what that means is that yes, the studio definitely does want to do more Superman, Man of Steel movies, but I think the problem is that that's such a big swing for them, and they spent so much money on the Aquaman movie. It was a huge gamble. If they'd had another disaster after Justice League, it would have been catastrophic to the studio. So I think in reality, they didn't want to take a gamble that big, and they wanted to try a couple smaller movies of smaller budgets before they doubled down on a Superman, Man of Steel movie. And also they wanted the dust to clear a little bit from all those Justice League characters just because people remember Justice League so much. But you give it a couple years and people will stop thinking about it quite as much, especially with a couple really strong movies under their belts. So I think they're just waiting until they have a couple of really big hits before they go back to the Superman well. But all you have to do to see that Henry Cavill still really wants to be Superman is just check out his Instagram account. He posts Superman pictures all the time, and he is way more jacked now doing his Witcher workouts. Whatever he's going to look like in full costume in that first Witcher trailer is going to be crazy compared to what he looked like during the Man of Steel movie. I think that's his most jacked right now. Like you talk about levels of Henry Cavill, like he had slimmed down a little bit during Justice League because he was filming that Mission Impossible movie and he wasn't supposed to be quite as big for that. But back during Man of Steel era, he went way over the top because it's like, oh, this is the first version of Superman that anybody's seen in a long time, so he has to be huge. So Zachary Levi, talking about Shazam, effectively confirmed that it is going to be a while before they do their next Justice League film, but the plan is to put Shazam in that movie because it'll feel very different because so much time will have gone by and they'll have cycled a couple of the other big Justice League actors. At present, this is what that team is going to look like. So Ben Affleck just did that big interview. I did a video for it where he officially confirmed no more Batman appearances in any movies. So that actually answers a lot of questions for other cameos in other people's movies as well. We can now say that Matt Reeves' version of Batman, unless something really goes wrong with that movie, that Batman in present day will join the next version of Justice League. Presumably, his sequel movies will move into present day the way that Wonder Woman's movies start out set during the past, like Wonder Woman 1984 is the sequel, then Wonder Woman 3 is going to be set during present day. Enough time will have gone by that we'll have seen 2 of Matt Reeves' Batman movies with whoever that new actor winds up being. I know there's a lot of rumors about who they're going to cast for Batman. We probably won't hear about that till at least Comic-Con, maybe a little bit after that. We'll also have enough time to see the Black Adam solo movie, so they'll debut The Rock as Black Adam within the DC universe, and probably enough time for them to have a Shazam versus Black Adam movie before he joins the Justice League. So we're talking at least 4 to 6 years for that next Justice League movie, but Gal Gadot will still have time to do, obviously, Wonder Woman 1984, the third Wonder Woman film in present day. We'll have seen Aquaman 2 and that Trench spin-off movie. Probably not enough time to get a third Aquaman movie out. That's probably going to take a little bit longer. The Flash is another big question mark right now. Right now, they're currently scheduled to start shooting the Flash movie next year, but because it keeps getting delayed because Ezra Miller is part of that Fantastic Beasts franchise and they're making 1 billion of those movies, and Warner Brothers seems to be prioritizing him in those over his Flash movie. If for some reason they delay the Flash movie again and it does not start filming next year, I'm totally fine with them recasting Ezra Miller and just completely redesigning what the Flash looks like, what his costume looks like, the way he moves, the Speed Force within the DC universe. Just brand new actor, brand new look. They do one of those movies and then they do the second movie after whatever the next Justice League movie is. If you are a really big fan of the Flash as a character, by that time we'll have also probably seen a version of a speedster on Titans, but I'm guessing that would be a new version of Wally West or Bart Allen, who we haven't seen in any live-action version yet. Bart would actually be a pretty solid choice, because I don't think that they're going to do him on the Flash TV show right now. But here's the other big thing too. They wait to do that next Justice League movie until they do the Green Lantern Corps movie, so we get Hal Jordan and they can bring in more big cosmic stuff from the DC universe. It doesn't really make sense unless you have a lot of cosmic characters on your team. So don't forget that we also have a New Gods movie that's coming up in the next couple of years. Enough time will have gone by that we'll have already seen that, but based on all the confirmed news that we've gotten about it, it's relatively self-contained, and the main characters are Mr. Miracle and Big Barda. It's mostly like a love story between the two of them, a bit of a heist film. And the main villains are Granny Goodness and the Female Furies. If you guys aren't really familiar with the New Gods characters or Big Barda and Mr. Miracle's stories, read Tom King's Mr. Miracle comic book. It is probably one of the best comic books in the last 10 years. The basic premise of their relationship is that Big Barda is one of the most badass female Furies. She's in love with Mr. Miracle, who's one of the New Gods, but it's sort of this West Side Story type of thing where you have rival gangs where 2 of them are in love with each other on opposing sides. Granny Goodness doesn't want to have any of that because Big Barda is supposed to be loyal to her, so she sets the Female Furies to go and try and bring her back and force her to rejoin the team. So you sort of have Mr. Miracle trying to pull these giant heists on Darkseid, and then Granny Goodness and the Female Furies trying to stop them. So even though the New Gods are crazy powerful characters compared to the people that you would meet on planet Earth, I think it's going to be a relatively smaller self-contained story. You do like a small Justice League post-credit scene during that and set up the idea that they'll eventually cross those characters over. But hopefully that kind of explains what the plan is right now. But just remember that because it's like 4 to 6 years down the road worth of DC movies, that a lot of stuff can change. And I know that doesn't really answer a lot of questions about what's going to happen to Cyborg. I do not think that they're going to make that Cyborg solo movie. What'll probably happen is they'll redesign what he looks like a little bit, and they'll put him in some of the appropriate movies so that by the time we get to that next Justice League movie, you're very familiar with who he is, what his personality is, and what his relationships are like with the other Justice League characters. Like, they could turn him into the next Coulson of the DC universe, even if he's not going to be a really big solo movie character. So let me know in the comments, Shazam joins the Justice League in like 4 to 6 years. Who do you want the villain of that movie to wind up being if they're not going to do like a big New Gods character? The Legion of Doom would probably be the logical choice if they want to stay on Earth, because then you can include any number of big crossover characters like Black Manta. And the actor who plays Black Manta in the Aquaman movie did say that he had a contract to appear in other DC movies, but he didn't say what those movies were going to be. For those of you asking when we're going to get more Shazam trailers, the big news is that we're going to get more footage when they drop Aquaman on home video. That's March 3rd, so at least by then. But because that doesn't leave a lot of time before the movie actually comes out, there will be another trailer between now and then. So don't be surprised if you get some surprise footage in the next couple of weeks. Usually it winds up being Tuesday mornings when they drop new trailers. So just look out for that. Whatever ends up happening, I will totally make videos for it. But leave your requests in the comments below. Congratulations, Omo Bosa, you're the giveaway winner from my last big DC video. Please email me on the About page of my channel so I can get your contact details. Click here for my last really big Shazam, Black Adam, Superman trailer video, and click here for my non-spoilery early Captain Marvel review. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.